It's the 21st of March 2021 and I've come to Winster, which is just under 5 miles from my front door, so still very local to me, and I'm going to really enjoy looking around this pretty village before I start the walk today. Four miles west of Matlock, Winster was once a busy place with its own market and prosperous lead mining industry. With more than 70 listed buildings, the village has one of the most impressive street scenes in the area, and the main street is a collection of impressive buildings, which merge with a jumble of cottages up the bank on the southern side. This is Winster Hall, built in the 18th century for the Moor family, who are lawyers and owners of local lead mines. There is an excellent village shop on the main street, owned and run by the community, and is the hub of the village. The old market house was the first property in the Peak District to be acquired by the National Trust in 1906. Unusually for the area, it is constructed of red brick and stands in a prominent position on the main street. Winster Market House now houses an information room with interesting exhibits about the village's history. The village has a fine old inn, the Bowling Green, as well as another pub, the Miners' Standard, which is a short distance away on the roads to Grange Mill. Historically, Winster was a main crossing point for many roads and trackways, one of the most important being the Portway, an ancient trading route that passes close to the village. Salt routes from Cheshire came through the village, as did the main turnpike from Nottingham to Newhaven in later years. Walking to Dower House at the opposite end of the main street, I turned left up West Bank to immediately take a footpath on the right, signposted to Elton. This led me through the churchyard of St John the Baptist Church, a Grade II listed parish church. Well, that was a lovely look around Winster. Another beautiful village which is very close to where I live. So I'm going to start the walk now and I'll soon be in the next village. From the churchyard, I followed the footpath as it took me west. Soon I crossed over the B5056, following the path opposite through fields and getting some great open views around me. Reaching Islington Lane, which was once part of the aforementioned Portway, I turned right to head north. I was now on another section of the Limestone Way. Eventually, the track led to a lane at Elton Cross. Leaving the Limestone Way for now, I turned left to take the lane into the next village, which is situated high up on the limestone plateau and provides some stunning views. Elton developed around lead mining and agriculture, and both are still in evidence. Mining may have gone, but the surrounding area is rich in remnants of the industry, whilst agriculture is still very active. The village, containing some fine stone cottages, spreads along a single street that roughly marks the spring line and an underlying junction of rock types. North of the village are limestone outcrops, and just to the south are old gritstone quarries and rocky tors. All Saints' Church was built in 1812, the much older St Margaret's Church having been demolished in 1800, when illegal lead mining beneath the church weakened the structure and caused the spire to fall and crush the building. Opposite is the Duke of York, an award-winning camera pub. Even though Elton is a village local to me, I don't come here as much as I used to now. In my early days of living in the area, I certainly came to Elton a lot and did lots of local walks here. And when I was making friends in the area, one of my local friends, we sometimes did a walk together in the evenings, particularly during the summer. Just do a short walk for an hour or so after tea. And we did a walk from Elton one evening, I remember. And one thing I always remember about Elton is the Duke of York pub behind me. I always knew that it was open, but I never found that it looked open when I came to Elton. And the evening I came here for a walk with my friend, we did a walk around nearby Grattan Dale. And as we arrived back in Elton, before we drove off, I saw the front door of the Duke of York opening and a lady came out. And I said to my friend, look. And I said to the lady, are you open? She said, yeah. I said, what, now? She said, yeah. So we saw the pub opening, so I said to my friend Ol, I said, right, let's get in there and have a quick half before we go home. So we did, and it was lovely. Certainly the Duke of York always used to be well known for not looking like it was open, but it was, in fact. So the time that we actually did see the doors opening, we took the opportunity of going inside and having a quick drink, and it was lovely. Really nice pub. I do like Elton. I always have done. I think it's a really nice little village. Okay, I'll continue with my walk now then. I walked down Wells Street and took a path into a field signposted to Yulegrave. I was now heading north as the path headed slowly down the fields. Going over a stream, I rose the other side, crossing Cliff Lane to another path, and continued northwards. Here we are, great big old stone stile. Oh, blimey. Wow. Oh, you certainly need long legs to get over some of these old stiles. Bizarre. I mean, I'm not tall myself. I mean, I'm 5'9", but I'm not tall. So I've got fairly short legs, really. But I saw an older couple just back there, and they're in front of me now. They actually let me go by when I got to a stile back there.
and they said, "Oh, we can't get over it." And it was it was even higher than that one. You know, you have to take a really big step to get onto the first step. So they ended up just opening a gate that was just further down the wall. So, yeah, it can be quite a challenge, some of these styles. I mean, I have a problem with these old narrow gap styles because they can be a bit narrow. And then you've got these old stone step styles where you need really long flipping legs. Hey, it's what makes the walk more interesting.
Climbing a stile on the right as I reached a junction of paths, I rejoined the limestone way. I could see the village of Yulegrave to my left before going through a gate to enter woodland.
Right, I'm starting to feel a bit peckish now. Well, very peckish. It's 10 to 1, so I think it's a good time to find a spot to sit down and have my lunch.
I stopped for lunch, then continued along the path, which curved through the trees below Castle Ring Hill, the site of Castle Ring, an Iron Age fort. This is one of the forts built along the ancient portway. I soon emerged onto a lane and headed uphill. I was now approaching more of the many highlights of today's walk.
That's where I'm heading for, Robin Hood Stride. But just before I go there, there's something over here I'm just going to take a quick look at.
The area around Harthill Moor contains traces of barrows, Bronze or Iron Age enclosures and hut circles. But the most visible monument is the stone circle, known as the 9-stone close, although there are only 4 stones actually standing. This is another Bronze Age monument connected with the portway, and is probably the most impressive in the area.
That's been really nice. I've just spent half an hour talking to various people by the old standing stones. Yeah. Really interesting. Local people have come around and they're trying to find all different stones, because you've got these stones here and you've got other stones in the area as well, so people are trying to find all these different stones. It's been great just having a chat with people. Really nice. Okay, off to Robin Hood Stride now then. Well, it's a Sunday afternoon. It's not particularly sunny, but it's been a nice dry day, so understandably everybody else is going to be wanting to visit Robin Hood Stride. That's fine. It's a lovely spot, so I don't blame them at all.
Robin Hood Stride is a spectacular tor of gritstone rocks, perched on a ridge between Harthill Moor and the Old Ports to Winster Road. Legend has it that Robin strode between the tower-like stones at either end of the tor, but this is unlikely because they are 15 metres apart and the ascent of the towers is difficult, especially the southern one. These twin towers are called the Weasel and the Inaccessible Pinnacle. An alternative local name is Mockbeggar's Hall, and from a distance it is easy to imagine the tumbled rocks and turrets being mistaken for fortifications, especially in semi-darkness or mist.
Actually, it's not that busy really. There are a few people here, but I mean, we are still technically in lockdown until a week tomorrow. So, you know, there are a few people around, but it's not overly crowded at all, actually, for a Sunday afternoon. I am definitely on top of the world now. Look at those views. You can see Elton over there, Winster over there. And over that side, you can see Yulegrave over Haddon in the distance, and right over towards Chatsworth and beyond. Well, that's Robin Hood Stride. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
It's nice physical activity. It's nice, like, fun doing the routes and everything.
Well, it can't be denied that Robin Hood Stride is pretty impressive. The actual outcrop itself, as well as the views that you get from the top, so excellent. Okay, I'm going to make my way back to Winster now then.
As I descended from Robin Hood Stride, I could see Cratcliff Tor to my left, an impressive crag made up of huge blocks of gritstone. As well as being one of the hardest gritstone climbing crags in the area, it also has a hermit's cave, probably inhabited around the 12th century, and hidden by an ancient group of yew trees. Descending to the B5056, I left the limestone way again and took a path signposted to Birchover. Climbing up steeply, I soon turned right along a level path, which then curved round to the left. Passing beneath the rocking stones, I continued on along the level path, eventually reaching Upper Town. Just beyond Ivy House, I took a path off to the right.
I'm nearly at the end of my walk now. Just got to drop down into the valley there, and up the other side I'm back in Winster. But just before I move on, just thought I'd take a bit of a pause and take in this wonderful view. Absolutely wonderful.
As I continued on the footpath, I dropped down into the valley, along a mixture of fields paths and paving stones across boggy areas, as I made my way back to Winster.
And rest. Whew. I am absolutely cream crackered, but it's been so worth it. There's been a lot of ups and downs on the walk today, but what a fantastic walk. I just feel so lucky to have all this as part of my backyard. As I say, Winster is less than 5 miles from where I live in Matlock, so I haven't had to come far to do this walk today. It's really great. So, it's just gone 4:10. Probably take me about 10-15 minutes to get home now. So when I get home, I'm going to jump in a nice hot shower, put my feet up afterwards with a nice hot cup of tea in front of the telly, and then later on for my tea, I'm going to enjoy a nice hot, hearty beef and vegetable stew. Perfect end to a perfect day. How fantastic is that?